Graduated from Rowan University in the spring of 2022 with a sports communication and media degree. I got to actually call minor league baseball and G League basketball games while I was in school. And then I graduated, and as soon as I graduated, I went to NFL Films in Mount Laurel, New Jersey. And as much as I loved that experience, I miss putting on the headsets. I decided, you know what, talk is cheap. I have a laptop that's in my house, and so 21 months later, here we are, still on YouTube, calling games and building an incredible, loving community on here with the people that I call my Philly freaks with a capital P and a capital H. We go live for every single Phillies, Sixers, and Eagles game, and we do it like old school radio play-by-play style. I'm Jason Joseph, and this is Play-by-Play with JJ.
Shota swung on, barreled out to right field. Bye-bye baseball.
That baby is long gone.
Good evening, everybody. Hopefully you're all doing well and having yourselves a very, very fantastic day. My name is Jason Joseph. This is Play-by-Play with JJ. We got 27 people rocking with us. Sunday Night Baseball here on Play-by-Play with JJ. Hit the thumbs up button. Hit the subscribe button as well. And turn on the notification bell icons too. And that way you will know when we do go live. We got the Cubs taking on the Cardinals. And we'll get into the starting lineups in just a little bit. But Shota Imanaga is going to be pitching for the Chicago Cubs. And Sonny Gray, the 35-year-old, is going to be taking the hill for the St. Louis Cardinals. Cardinals are at 500. They're 59-59 on the season. The Cubs are 67-49. This series itself is tied. And so one of the teams is looking to try to get the series win. Which team will it be? We'll see. First pitch was supposed to start at 7:10, so it is a 50-minute rain delay. That's what it is. For the Chicago Cubs, they will have Michael Busch leading it off. Seiya Suzuki is going to be batting second. Hitting third, it's Kyle Tucker. And you got Carson Kelly batting fourth. Pete Crow Armstrong batting fifth. Ian Happ sixth. Nico Horner seventh. Dansby Swanson eighth. And Matt Shaw batting in the 9th spot for the Chicago Cubs. For the Cardinals, they will have Mason Wynn in the leadoff spot for them. Ivan Herrera batting second. And then it's Wilson Contreras batting third. Alec Burleson fourth. Jordan Walker fifth. Nolan Gorman batting sixth. Thomas Segis, he'll be hitting seventh. Eighth will be Pedro Pajes. And then batting in the 9th spot, it's Victor Scott II. So Sonny Gray will be on the hill for the St. Louis Cardinals. Gray this year has a 4.21 ERA, a 10-5 record, and 141 strikeouts on the year. Has a four-seamer, a sweeper, a sinker, a curveball, and then a cutter and a changeup. The main 3 or 4 pitches, I should say, are the four-seamer, the sweeper, the sinker, and the curveball. So it'll be interesting to see how the Chicago Cubs tend to do off of Sonny Gray. Shota Imanaga, on the other hand, pitching for the Chicago Cubs, 8-4 with a 3.12 earned run average and 70 strikeouts. Started the season on the IL. He started during the season, and then in the month of May ended up getting hurt, and then was shelved for about 6 weeks or so, and then came back on the 26th of June. And actually did pretty well against the Cardinals. And ever since he's been back, he's been a little bit shaky. He was doing fine, and then in his second-to-last outing, gave up 7 earned runs against the Chicago White Sox. Also 12 hits in that outing in only 3 innings. Then he played against the Milwaukee Brewers. He did allow 3 earned runs in 5 innings total, 2 homers, no walks, and he struck out 8 batters. So we'll see how he does tonight. We'll change this right now as we are getting ready to get started with some Sunday Night Baseball out at Busch Stadium. What are your final score predictions? Let us know down below. Also, let us know who your standout players are going to be for today. Mine is Pete Crow Armstrong. I'm going to go with him as the player of the game. But we'll see what ends up happening. Could be Jordan Walker. I don't know. We'll see. All right. Sunday Night Baseball out in St. Louis, and we are ready to rock and roll. Bush with a 266 average, 22 homers, and 64 RBI. He's hitting in the leadoff spot, and the first pitch is in there for strike one at 92 miles per hour on the gun. Hi, everybody. Wanted to make sure that I said hello to each and every one of you. No balls, one strike. And here's the 0-1 pitch. And that ball is fouled off. No balls, two strikes. We got 36 people on here watching. If you guys love baseball, this is what we do. We do Sunday Night Baseball, we do Phillies baseball, and we do Diamond Zone, which is baseball's edition of NFL Red Zone, and it's really, really awesome. No balls, two strikes to Michael Bush, and here's the 0-2 on the way. Check swing, did he go? No, he did not. We also do some of the Giants games when we can as well. Baseball is a big commitment. It is. Giants lost today, so I'm here for some baseball therapy. I didn't even get to watch the Giants game today. They lost to the Nationals. They got shut out. My gosh, sorry, I don't mean to remind you. I just didn't know. 1-2. This one's grounded over towards the first base side. First baseman Contreras has it, takes it to the bag, and there is out number one. When you take a look at the NL standings, as far as the wild card does go, the Chicago Cubs are half a game behind the. They're half a game behind the Philadelphia Phillies for the second overall record. But that has no bearing on the overall standings because leading the way in the NL Central is the Milwaukee Brewers. The pitch to Seiya Suzuki, and that's taken for strike one. The Cubs are 2 games above the Padres. They currently have the first wild card. The pitch. This one is lined out to center field for a base hit, and Seiya Suzuki gets on with a 1-out single off of Sonny Gray. Okay. So there is the first hit of the ball game. And Kyle Tucker's coming on up. Right-handed batters are hitting just .210 against Sonny Gray in 2024, but this year, in 2025, they're hitting .285 against him. Here's the pitch to Tucker. This one is flied out over towards shallow left center field. And Burleson gets called off by Scott. And will make the catch for out number 2. On the defensive side of the diamond for the St. Louis Cardinals, you have Pedro Pages catching. Over at first base, it's Wilson Contreras. The second baseman will be Thomas Segis. And then at third, it's Nolan Gorman. Then at short, we got Mason Wynn. In the outfield, Alec Burleson plays left. The right fielder is Jordan Walker. And last but not least, it's Victor Scott, the second in center field. 2 outs, a runner on over at first. And this is Carson Kelly coming up. The catcher takes the first pitch for a ball. Kelly has had not a bad season so far. A 276 average, 13 homers, and 30 runs driven on in. And he fouls off the next pitch. As we were talking about before, the Cubs currently are 2 games above the San Diego Padres and 5 above the New York Mets for that wild card spot. They have the first wild card. So the Padres have the second and the Mets are third. The next pitch, and the count is now 2-1. The Reds, on the other hand, they're 1.5 games behind the Mets for that third wild card spot. 2 balls, 1 strike to Carson Kelly. And the 2-1 is outside for ball 3. So it's a big game for both of these teams. The Cardinals are 4 games behind the Mets for that third wild card spot, too. They're actually tied now with the Giants. 3-1. And that is taken down for ball 4. And so there is a 2-out walk issued by Sonny Gray. That's going to put 2 runners on base for the Chicago Cubs. Okay. All righty. How's everybody doing? David is here. How are you, David? Jackson's also here. JGZ. What's up, Big Rud? George! Akon and JGZ. The pitch. And that's taken for a ball. So it's 1 ball, no strikes, and that's to Pete Crow Armstrong. Pete is just 1 for his last 29. Hard to believe. He was tearing it up. But we all know that he can get hot. The pitch, and that is low for ball 2. Bud is here. Thank you very, very much, Bud. Akon and JGZ. Try to take it easy. 2 balls, no strikes. The 2-0 pitch to Pete Crow Armstrong, and that is up high and outside for ball 3. Three balls, no strikes. The 3-0 pitch. Ground ball hit over to first base. Contreras has it, flips it back over to Gray, who has to cover the bag, and the inning is over. We're going to the bottom of the first inning. No score between the Cubs and the Cardinals. And as we go to the bottom of the first, this will be the St. Louis Cardinals starting lineup for tonight. You got Mason Wynn batting first. Ivan Herrera is hitting second. And then it's Wilson Contreras batting third. Fourth will be Alec Burleson. Then you got Jordan Walker batting fifth. Nolan Gorman sixth. Segis, that's Thomas Segis, batting seventh. Pedro Pajes eighth. And last but certainly not least, Victor Scott the second is the 9-hole hitter for Chicago. So Mason Wynn, the shortstop, batting first. Ivan Herrera, the DH, batting second. Wilson Contreras at first base batting third. The left fielder, Alec Burleson, batting fourth. Jordan Walker in right field batting fifth. Nolan Gorman at third base hitting sixth. Thomas Segis over at second base batting seventh. Pedro Pajes, the catcher, hitting eighth. And the center fielder, Victor Scott the second, batting in the 9th spot. And on the mound for the Chicago Cubs, they got Shota Imanaga. The Cubs this year, 67 wins, 49 losses on the season so far. Shota, 31 years old, 5 feet 10 inches tall. He's from Japan, and he will be on the hill tonight. An 8-4 record for him, a 3.12 earned run average as well, 70 strikeouts. He was a rookie last year, had a 2.91 ERA last year. But this year, the strikeouts have been a little bit down. He's gone 89 in the third of an inning and has struck out 70 batters, as we mentioned before. His strikeout to walk ratio is a little bit lower than it was last year, but he has only given up 31 earned runs in 89 and a third of an inning. And this will be start number 17 for Shota on the season. What's going on, chat? How is everybody doing? JJ, read my comment. What'd you say? The New York Mets got walked off by the Brewers in the bottom of the 9th. Oh, yeah, I saw that. That was really cool. The Mets were winning 6-3. They were actually up 5-0. That's the crazier thing about it. But yeah, you're right. They were really up 5-0, but that was pretty wild. Mason Wynn is up at the plate, and Wynn takes ball 1 up high. Shota gets set at the Chicago letters and deals. The pitch is fouled back towards the screen. Any of you guys on Reddit? 3 earned runs or less in 9 of Shota's last 10 starts. Here's a sweeper, and that's thrown upstairs for ball 2. Busch Stadium. That's another stadium that is on my bucket list to go see. Would love to go to a game there. It looks like a very nice stadium. 2 balls, 1 strike. And the next pitch is called a ball. Umpire says it was a little bit high. The 3-1 offering. That's fouled back towards the screen. No Reddit for me, JJ. Anybody use Reddit? Anybody? The count is full to Mason Wynn. We're in the bottom of the first. 3-2 pitch. This one is popped up over towards the right side, and the catcher, Kelly, is there, and will make the basket catch in front of the Cardinals dugout. And there's one gone. So Wynn fouls out. And Ivan Herrera is the next man up. We got 43 people on here watching. We appreciate each and every one of you. Help us get those thumbs ups going. Here's a splitter that's thrown, and that will catch the outside edge for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike to Ivan Herrera. 300 batting average for him. 10 homers and 42 RBI as well. He's just 25 years old. The pitch is taken up high and inside for a ball. He went 1 for 4 in last night's game with a double, and he struck out twice. Shota kicks and delivers. That pitch is in there for a strike. Ivan is batting .295 at home and .304 on the road. The windup and the pitch. Foul ball. Hit that thumbs up button and hit that subscribe button as well. Bottom of the first, 1 away, nobody on. 1 ball, 2 strikes. To Ivan Herrera. 10 seconds left on the pitch clock. And the 1-2 delivery to Herrera, and he lines a foul. Remember, the Cardinals started in a rain delay. A 50-minute rain delay, that is. The umpires for tonight. Well, you got Edwin Jimenez at home plate. Ben May at first. Roberto Ortiz at second. And Bill Miller at third. The next pitch, here it comes. And that's low for ball 2. 2-2 is the count to Ivan Herrera. Shota looks over at first, picks his leg up, and fires. And this one is popped up over towards the first base side. Busch is on the outfield grass, and he will back up to make the catch for the second out of the inning. For the Chicago Cubs, their defense will be this. Catching, it's Carson Kelly. The first baseman is Michael Busch. The second baseman is Nico Horner. You got Swanson over at short. You got Shaw at third. The right fielder is Tucker. The center fielder is PCA. That's Pete Crow Armstrong. And then Ian Happ is out and left. The pitch to Contreras, it's taken for ball 1. Contreras' numbers this year have been a little bit down. 1-0. That's in there for strike 1. We'll tell you, though, that he's gotten a hit in each of his last 4 games. And since then, well, he's ended up going 5 for 13 with 2 runs scored, 1 homer, and 2 RBI. 1-1. That's a foul ball. He batted .284 in the month of July with 3 homers and 10 RBI. August, though, 7 for 22. Bottom of the first, 2 away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Contreras steps out of the box really quickly. He'll adjust his... The trainer's actually going to go out there. I think he fouled a pitch off of his ankle. And the trainer's going out there with some ice. And just trying to massage it. Oh, boy. He shakes his foot. And the trainer gives him a little pat on the back as well. We need a monster sponsor for JJ. That's funny. Contreras will bend his knees. Do a little squat. And he steps back on into the box. He'll readjust the batting gloves too. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 16 pitches for Shota in this bottom of the first. The 1-2 delivery to Contreras. That's low for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 away, bottom of the first. 5 seconds left on the pitch clock. And Shota gets the signs again. Kicks, deals. And the pitch is grounded over towards the first base side again. And so, taking it to the bag himself will be the first baseman, Michael Busch, for out number 3. He tried to slide, and Wilson Contreras could not beat him to the punch. So as he was running back over towards the bag, Contreras dove in there head first, and the inning is over. Could not win the relay there. All right, we're going to the second inning. No score between the Cubs and the Cardinals. Are you doing NFL fantasy this year, JJ? Yeah. Haven't figured out when I'm going to do it, but I would like to. I think that would be really cool. I think that would be awesome. We were out late last night, so if my voice is a little bit shot, if I'm a little bit lower in my voice today, that's why. Because I had a great time last night. We talked a little bit about it earlier, but it was great. It was a lot of fun, and I needed that. Got a birthday today. We got 50 people watching. Don't forget to like and don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well. And turn on the notification bell icon. So going back to this whole Reddit thing, I was asking if you guys have read it before earlier because, you know, I like it when people, all I ask for everybody to do is just spread the word. Spread the word, post on the socials, post on Facebook, post on all that stuff. And, if you guys are actively on Reddit, I just wanted to throw this out there that it'd be kind of cool if you spread the word that way too. I would really appreciate that. In the top of the second inning, it'll be Ian Happ coming up for the Chicago Cubs, along with Miko Horner and Dansby Swanson. So that is 6, 7, and 8 due up in the order for Chicago. Yadier Molina got to deliver the lineup card for the Cardinals on Friday. That's really cool. Talk about one of the best defensive catchers, if not the best defensive catcher of the 2000s era so far. Oh, man, happy birthday. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. So my voice has not fully recovered from last night. Plus, we did a game today. Top of the second. Nobody on, nobody out, and Ian Happ will lead it off. Gray will kick and deal. And the pitch is grounded foul towards the first base side. I actually do go to Reddit for a lot of things now. The 0-1 pitch. That is up high for a ball. One. That's low for ball 2. Two balls, one strike, and the windup and the pitch. That's low and inside for ball 3. So the count is 3-1 to Ian Happ. There's Ollie Marmol. He's the manager for the St. Louis Cardinals. 3-1. This one's popped up out over towards right field. Walker shies towards his left side and waits for it and makes the grab for the first out of the second. Here's the pitch. That's low for a ball. You know, all I can think of when I'm thinking about the Cardinals right now is Jack Buck. Don't know why. 1-0 pitch. That is taken up high for ball 2 and inside as well. I actually didn't know that he went to Ohio State. He died at the age of 77 back in June of 2002. 2-0 pitch. That is taken for a called strike. I mean, you talk about just an incredible announcer for not just baseball, but for football as well. And he did a great job for radio. Two balls, one strike. And here's the 2-1. Swing and a miss. And he also served in the military from 43 to 46. And won a Purple Heart. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Nico Horner. Gray kicks and fires. This pitch is grounded over to first base. It's backhanded by Contreras. The throw over to first to Sonny Gray will most certainly get Nico Horner out for the second time. Well, the first time today, but that's the second out of the inning. Man. Thanks for sharing today. It's unavailable in my area. I got you. No problem. Let's go Cubs, Eminem says. Are you a fan of Monster drinks? I'm not really a Monster drink guy, but every once in a while, if somebody's like, you know, I have a Monster drink for you. I mean, like in college, I would sometimes have one if I had to pull in like an all-nighter or something, maybe, you know, but it wasn't my cup of tea. The pitch. This one's lined out to left field by Dansby Swanson for a base hit. And he will rope a single out over to left field. So Swanson does get aboard. And he is on base. No problem, my friend. I'm happy that you're tuning on in. Here's Matt Shaw. Shaw takes a called strike. Again, we go on for Sunday Night Baseball. We do Phillies baseball, and we also do a red zone edition of Major League Baseball, if you will, called MLB Diamond Zone. No balls, 2 strikes to Matt Shaw. He's hitting .227 this year, and also has a .675 OPS. Gray comes set above the belt gets the signs, and kicks, delivers. And the pitch is outside. They tried to see if he went around. Did he go? No. He did not offer at the pitch. Dinner was good. Had a good time. 1-2. That's low for a ball. Throw over the second base, and Swanson is safe. He dove on in there head first. The graphic says that he's out at second, but Swanson just got on in there. Cardinals say that he's out. And so we are going to the bottom of the second. Let's look at the replay again. Pages threw it over to second. I don't know what was going on. They say that they got the out, though. And so we're going to the bottom of the second inning. Looked like they said that he was safe. I don't understand what the heck happened. That's like the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. Oh, he was safe at second, but it was a very late strike three call. No wonder why. Couldn't see the strike three call. No wonder why. Did not even think that that was a strike. That's the one thing that's a little bit annoying about doing it on a cast, is that you can't fully see that. But we're going to the bottom of the second inning, so it didn't even matter because the batter was out on strike three. I was like, he looked safe over at second, and he was called safe. Like, what are we talking about? So, weird. Very bizarre. We're going to the bottom of the second, though, nonetheless. No score between the Cardinals and the Cubs. How's everybody's night going? Let us know down below. Where you guys tapping on in from? I would love to hear where you guys are tuning on in from. If you guys are really into baseball, if you guys like the Cubs, if you guys like the Cardinals, I really do encourage you guys to go check out some of my other baseball content. I know that you guys might not be Phillies fans. I know that you guys might not be watching whoever's on Sunday Night Baseball. But, you know, we do Diamond Zone, which is really awesome. It's sort of, I mentioned this before, but it's, imagine if NFL Red Zone had an edition of what they do for Major League Baseball. That's what MLB Diamond Zone is. And it's really cool. I can't show the games. I can't do that to you guys, unfortunately. I can only do play-by-play. But I changed the scoreboards, and it's really easy to follow along. So, like the Seattle Mariners, right? Where is a good example of this? I have to change my thingy. Okay, 1 second. No balls, 1 strike. As we start off the bottom of the second, Alec Burleson is up at the plate. So at the Braves score, it was 7-1. The White Sox, they won 6-4. We're able to change this in real time, and it updates you. Here's the 0-1. That's fouled away. Alec Burleson is up at the plate, facing Shota Imanaga. The count is 0-2. What's up, Jacob? How are you? Here's the pitch. There's a swing and a miss. JJ, you're going to be sleeping like a log tonight. Tiredest I've ever seen you. But you're a soldier. You're a trooper. Much respect. I mean, like, what else can I do? You know, like, I'm giving it my all. And that's just what I do. I mean, I'm, you know, just physically in my voice. You know, I went out and I went hard last night. Here's the pitch. That's in there for a strike. But baseball, to me, like, baseball is supposed to be like a very calm sport. Like, you're not supposed to have like the high energy. Like, baseball, Yeah, like I do tend I get like what you're saying. Like I do tend to give more energy towards it, but baseball's like a naturally calm sport. So I feel like that in a sense that this does work. You know, this is like a Vince Scully type of a cast, if you will. I'm not comparing myself to Vince Scully, but it's just lighter. It's not as high energy, and I think it works like that, which is a good thing too. But yeah, you're right. No balls, 2 strikes. There's the 0-2. It's a foul ball. That one goes right behind the plate. Enjoying a Haagen-Dazs and chocolate almond bar. Nice. Edgar is here. How are you, Edgar? No balls, 2 strikes. The 0-2. That is outside for a ball. One ball, 2 strikes. One away, bottom of the second. And the 1-2 pitch, here it is, swing and a miss. And Jordan Walker is down on strikes. There's out number 2. Oof. 2 outs, bottom of the second. Nolan Gorman is up. And Gorman takes a called strike on the outside corner. A .227 hitter, 10 homers, and 33 RBI as well. Shota kicks, deals, and the pitch is in there for strike number 2. Just by my tone. Yeah, it's a quieter tone. I guess that's different. Is tone different than voice? I should know these things. Like my voice could be soft. Like I could be talking a little bit deeper. But I guess that tone also means the way that you think, right? The 0-2, and that's up high for a ball. Here's the next pitch. There's a swing and a miss, and Nolan Gorman is down on strikes. We're going to the top of the 3rd inning, and it is scoreless so far between the Cubs and the Cardinals. So according to Google, tone is a musical or vocal sound with reference to its pitch, the quality, and the strength. The general characteristic of attitude of a place, so it's like mood, quality, feel. The tone might be a little bit more quiet. But that just happens during a baseball season, you know? You're on here every single day. I'm not like trying to like excuse myself. I'm just saying that this is just like what naturally does happen. And I think that it actually kind of, the funny part to me is that I feel like that it plays along really well. You know, like with basketball, it doesn't really go so well with it because when you get tired in basketball or when you're even doing hockey, you gotta have the energy all the time because it is such a high energy sport. And when it comes to baseball, you know, this is sort of like it's a good vibe. It's a good mixture of different types of instruments, you know? Like you have the high energy games where there's back and forth action, and then you have the games like where it just drags out and it just goes a little bit longer. And so maybe you hear more tubas, maybe you hear more violin, or like softer pieces of music, if you will. But like when the energy is high, here comes the whole symphony and everybody's playing every single instrument. The drums are coming on in. Here come the saxophones. Here come the clarinets, the oboes, and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, this is just broadcaster JJ talking. It doesn't really work as much, or it doesn't really work as well with basketball or with the other high energy sports. But with baseball, I tend to think it works pretty well. Here's the pitch. That's taken for a called strike. No balls, 1 strike. And there's the 0-1, and that's a little bit high for a ball. Those bars are the devil. Oh, no, I know. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the pitch. This one's grounded foul. Oh, no, I know that you're not being critical. I definitely know that you're not being critical. I'm just explaining that it's just natural. Put it this way, if you catch this replay tomorrow, after you get the good rest, you'll notice it. I'm sure I will. I already do notice it. The pitch. This one's fouled away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. We're in the top of the 3rd. Michael Busch is up at the plate. He's facing Sonny Gray. There's Jack Buck. 1-2 is the count to Busch. The pitch. This one is fouled off. Sonny Gray is on the hill. 36 pitches for Sonny. Gray is 35 years old. He played with the Athletics, the Yankees, the Reds, and then the Twins. And here's the pitch. There's a swing and a miss, and there is out number 1 here in the top of the 3rd. He's a 3-time All-Star. Was an All-Star once with the A's, and once with the Reds, and 1 more time with the Twins. Went to Vanderbilt University. Then the A's selected him in the 1st round of the 2011 MLB Draft. Here's a cutter that's taken all the way for strike 1 to Seiya Suzuki. No balls, 1 strike, and the 0-1, and that is taken in there for strike 2. Suzuki's 30 years old. 0-2. This one's popped up foul. Now to play. Got to play in the NPB up until 2021. Hit .315 over there as a career batting average. Hit 182 homers. Drove in 562 RBI. 0-2 on the way, and there's a swing and a miss. And Suzuki will strike out. The throw over to first on the drop. Strike 3 is in plenty of time. And there's back-to-back strikeouts for Sonny Gray. And there is out number 2. Gotta tell you, though, he is an RBI machine. He's really good at producing runs. So 2 gone in the top of the 3rd. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel. Here comes Kyle Tucker. Tucker 0 for 1. And the pitch to Gray, and that's in there for strike 1. Tone is one thing, another is volume. It's true. No balls, 1 strike. And here's the 0-1, and that's taken low for a ball. Oh, that sucks. That sucks about Landon Dickerson. That would be really bad if we missed him for Dallas. That'd be awful. 1-1 pitch. That's taken down for ball 2 to Kyle Tucker, the former Houston Astro. Two balls, one strike. And the pitch, another foul ball. Wrigley Field has been around since 1916. Hard to believe that it's 109 years old. Really first opened in 1914 as Weigman Park for Charles Weigman's Chicago Whales of the Federal League. I didn't know that. Next pitch, here it is. And there's another strike, 3 called. So Sonny Gray strikes out the side and gets himself a 1-2-3 inning. And we're going to go to the bottom of the third out in St. Louis. When they played their first home game, the Cubs, at Wrigley, or really at the park, they won 7-6 in 11 innings back in 1916. The capacity of Wrigley Field, and I didn't know this either, 41,649. Anybody been to Wrigley? Anybody been to Wrigley? That's another stadium I've always wanted to go to. Their record capacity was 47,171. And that was when they played against the Brooklyn Dodgers on August 31st of 1948, a.k.a. when I was negative 50 years old. Just kidding. That does suck. Yeah. Oh, I had a great time. I did. That was fun. I subbed and liked because I'm getting money. And you know more about the game than me. Sounds good, my friend. I appreciate the sub, and I appreciate the thumbs up button. Just laughing because of how you put it. It's really funny. Thomas Segis will lead off the bottom of the third, and then it'll be Pedro Pajes and Victor Scott II up at the plate. The Tigers, they won 9-5 today. The Brewers won 7-6. They beat the New York Mets. Phillies were able to take care of business against the Texas Rangers, and they won 4-2. What else? What else happened today? Excuse me. The Giants got shut out 8-0 against the Washington Nationals. The San Diego Padres, they won 6-2 against the Boston Red Sox. And then you got a 13-6 win. The Arizona Diamondbacks, they won 13-6 against the Colorado Rockies. The Mariners won 6-3 against the Tampa Bay Rays. And then you got the Blue Jays winning by a final score of 5-4 out at Dodger Stadium. The Twins walked it off and beat the Kansas City Royals by a final score of 5-3. It was Luke Kershaw who had a 2-run home run in the 11th inning. And then the Cincinnati Reds poured out their frustrations on the Pittsburgh Pirates and put up 14 runs and beat the Pittsburgh Pirates 14-8. The New York Yankees, they lost by 6 today, 7-1 final score out at Yankee Stadium. Braves won 7-1 as well and beat the Marlins. The A's, they took care of business against the Baltimore Orioles and won 3-2. And finally, the Chicago White Sox, they won 6-4 against the Cleveland Guardians. Segis is in the box, no batting gloves for Thomas, and the 1-1 is swung on and missed. And so the count is 1-2. Gray is putting the hammer down. He is. Where's everybody tuning on in from? Shota kicks and deals. And the pitch is a foul ball. They're doing the player interviews, and Pete Crow Armstrong is on the mic. Here's the 1-2 delivery. That's a foul ball. "35 pitches so far from Shota. And the pitch, this one's grounded over towards the left side, past the dive of the shortstop Swanson. And Seguis will get on with a leadoff single here in the bottom of the third inning. So that just got by Swanson. There was nothing he could do there. A leadoff single to start off the bottom of the third. And Pedro Pages will be the next man up. Shota kicks and deals and throws a four-seamer at 90 miles per hour. That's in there for strike one. That's so nice. Just saw Freddie Freeman give a little girl a hug earlier. That was nice. Here's the pitch, and this one is flied out to deep left field. Forget about it. It is gone. Pedro Pages with a shot out to left center, and the Cardinals go up 2-0. That's the 8th homer of the season for Pedro Pages. He drilled that thing. It was a laser. And Pages just able to get it over that fence. Again, a big game for the Cardinals and a big game for the Chicago Cubs, too. Here comes Victor Scott, and they'll show bunt over towards the third base side. And the throw by the third baseman is just in time. Oh, nice play there by Matt Shaw. He's a very good defensive third baseman and made an excellent play there. Good job at him recognizing what Victor Scott was about to try to do, and he prevented him from getting on over at first. That swing, though, by Pedro Pages was a pretty big one, and Shota knew it as soon as he threw it, that it was going to be a meatball. Mason Wynn is in the box. 2-0 St. Louis, and Wynn fouls it off of his front foot. And so the count is 0-1. Oh, man. Are there any other... There's no other NFL scrimmages going on now, right? It was just Saints and Chargers today, and Dolphins and Bears. That's it. No balls, 1 strike to Mason Wynn. He's 0 for 1. Ended up fouling out in the bottom of the first. No balls, 1 strike. 2-0 St. Louis. And the 0-1, and this one is flied out over towards left field. He got way under it. And the catch will be made by Ian Happ for the second out. He just missed that. Just got a little bit under it. Saw Kyle Schwarber do that a couple of times today. I've learned so many subtleties about the game watching and you in the chat being kind enough to explain things. Oh, I know, my friend. I love that. I do. Here's the pitch. That is fouled off. You know, no balls, 1 strike. I'll finish my thought in a sec. Here's the 0-1. And that is taken at the knees for strike 2. You know, the one thing that I realized, and I've realized a lot of things, but, you know, like Harry and the people that have done the traditional style of cast, you know, there's blessings and curses with that. But the pitch, and that's in there for a called strike 3. We're going to the top of the 4th, and the Chicago Cubs are coming back up. The one thing that is a little bit different now that I'm also starting to see too, and it's harder when there are traditional play-by-play announcers that are doing it. Like, the traditional casters, they don't get the in-time, you know, feedback and critiques. They don't get that, like, while they're in real time. They'll get it maybe on Twitter, but when you're watching the game on cable, there's just no way possible. Like, you'd have to, like, write a note, or you'd have to call on into the station or reach out to them on Instagram, like whatnot. But just getting the feedback and just keeping up with conversations and all that sort of stuff, like as we're doing the play-by-play, I didn't realize how tough of a skill that is. That's a really tough skill. And to be able to manage that, I think that's something that is sort of like a new challenge, if you will, that other people did not have to deal with before. And it's a cool challenge. I love all the challenges that are out there, but it's just interesting. I know that we have people that are aspiring to do this, you know, so I want to make sure that I talk about this stuff for them too. But yeah, as far as like the terminology and the subtleties and all that sort of stuff, like we made a joke today. You said that you wanted the 6-4-3. You wanted the 6-4-3 double play to get out of the 8th. And then guess what? You got a 6-4 with 2 outs. And what did I say? Save the 3. John from last year would not have known that. He would have been like, well, what are you talking about? But yeah, it's cool. There's things I'm still learning. There are, guys, how many rules are there in baseball? There's a lot of rules. You could probably study the rules for years. Just literally take lessons on just all the rules and all the, like, what if this happens and, like, what if this happens and all that sort of stuff. Batter's interference. The pitch. And this one is grounded over to third base. Third baseman has it, throws it over to first, and that will be in time. No Nolan Arenado today. Nolan Gorman is over at third base for the St. Louis Cardinals, who lead the 2-0. Tuning in from Hawaii. Hasta la vista, baby. Mashing in your kitchen, eating birthday cake with Reese. Figures. Figures, my friend. Here's Pete Crow Armstrong, and he takes a called strike. The count is 0-1. Gray will get set below the letters, and he kicks, he fires, and the pitch is just taken outside for a ball. 27 home runs for PCA and 70 RBI as well. We have 77 people watching us. That's so cool. Here's the 1-1 pitch. This one is lined out to right field for a base hit, and PCA gets on with a single as it takes a couple of hops in front of Jordan Walker, and Armstrong is aboard. I'm surprised that he got that type of a pitch. It was just left out over the middle, and Armstrong was like, I'm going to take what I can get. And he did. And it went over the head of Thomas Segis over at second base. We're in the top of the 4th. Man, time is flying by. The pitch is taken for ball one. That's to Ian Happ. Happ did fly out to left his first time up. Armstrong leads off over at first. And the 1-0 is in there for a strike. Scott Google Map Fishy, I'm a block away. Tropical here. Lava wasteland there with a giant crater. Oof. JJ taught me position numbers I always wanted to learn. Now I know and actually retained it. It's cool. 1 ball, 1 strike, and the toss back over to first. And that is not in time. Seth is here. What's up, Seth? Position numbers. What's a K? A K is the official scoring for a strikeout. The pitch, and the runner goes. The pitch is low. The throw over the second base, not in time. And so there's a stolen base by Pete Crow Armstrong. Oof. Kind of like the ching for stolen bases. That's kind of cool. 2 balls, 1 strike, and that is to Ian Happ. Happ is 0 for 1, as we mentioned before. Gray looks back at second, and the toss back to second, and Pete Crow Armstrong, he is out. He was caught sleeping at second, and he says, no, no, no. And they're looking to see if whether or not they should challenge this or not. I mean, I thought he got tagged out. It might be close, though. Did he get his left hand back in there on the swipe from Mason Wynn? I think that Mason Wynn got him. And so he is out at second base and gets caught sleeping at the wheel. Sonny Gray with a great pickoff move, and it worked. And there is out number 2. So now there's nobody on with 2 outs. And the count is 2-1 still to Ian Happ. The 2-1 pitch. That's in there on the upper third of the zone for a called strike. Three hits for the Cubs, 2 for the Cardinals. The big one was from Pedro Pages. It was a 2-run shot. Two balls, 2 strikes. There's 5 seconds left on the pitch clock. The pitch. There's a swing and a miss. And Ian Happ is down on strikes. So we're going to the bottom of the 4th inning. 2-0 St. Louis. And we'll see what the St. Louis Cardinals do in the bottom of the 4th against Shota Imanaga. Okay. So Happ strikes out, and PCA gets on with a single. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel. Confucius says, those who watch and don't hit the like get haunted by a JJ in their dreams at night. I like that. Sientity, sit down. Brewers got 73 wins this year. They do. The Brewers do have 73 wins. They have the best record in all of baseball. Who would have thought? If you were to tell me that coming on into this 2025 season, that on August 10th, of 2025, the Milwaukee Brewers would have the best record in all of baseball and would be the only team to get to 70-plus wins at this point, would anybody have thought that? Would you have thought that? the fact that the Dodgers have 68, the Tigers have 68, the Blue Jays have 69, and the Phillies have 68. It's pretty wild. Also, the Chicago Cubs, I would say that there have been a lot of surprises this year in baseball. The Cubs being one, the Brewers being another. I think we all expected that the Detroit Tigers were going to be a good surprise. The Orioles were a bad surprise. I don't know. Who else? I guess that's it. Like, we've had the Brewers and the Cubs being big surprises in the National League. Bottom of the fourth, and the pitch is taken for a called strike. 2-0 St. Louis. No balls, one strike. And the pitch. There's a swing and a miss. And so the count is 0-2. Hit the thumbs up button, folks, and hit that subscribe button as well. I like Pete's glove. It is a cool glove. A little bit of light blue and red. 0-2. And that is inside for a ball. Contreras hitting .259 on the season with 16 home runs and 65 RBI. Shota kicks and deals. And the 1-2 is popped up into foul ground, and it goes out of play. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And this one's grounded foul. Eight seconds left on the pitch clock. 49 pitches for Shota. And the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. And there's out number one in the bottom of the fourth. 5 strikeouts for Imanaga. The only thing I wish when we're doing these games, I really wish that we had the legit crowd noise. You know? Because then I think silence would still be okay. Because just the baseball background noise is still pleasing to the ear. And that's kind of a curse. Like, you don't cognitively think about that. But some people just love tuning on into the silence because they love hearing the noises in the background. And that's something that's sort of to my disadvantage, but to everybody else's here on YouTube too. No balls, 2 strikes to Alec Burleson. .02. That is up high and also a little bit outside for a ball as well. Yeah, see that Justin Verlander got his 35th, 100th strikeout today? Becoming the 10th pitcher to do that in MLB history. 2 balls, 2 strikes. He's had a heck of a career. The 2-2, that is low and outside for ball 3. Saw the other day that Jesse Chavez retired. He's like the journeyman. Him and Rick Ankiel. been around for a very long time. Or, sorry, Rich Hill. That's who it is. The next pitch, here it comes. Another swing and a miss. And Shota continues to show how dominant he is tonight. There's the second out of the inning. Here's Jordan Walker in the pitch. This one's grounded over to third base, diving, stopped by Shaw. He gets up, throws over to first on a bounce, and Walker is out at first base. Good defense by Matt Shaw. He's made 2 really good plays today over at third for the Chicago Cubs. And so a smooth play by Shaw at the hot corner, and the inning is over. We're heading to the 5th. 2-0 St. Louis. And Cal Raleigh also hit his 45th homer. He's just such a great ball player. He really is. Hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel. I wish we had picture-in-picture like the Brady Bunch intro, and you could click and connect with whoever and as many as you want in the live chat. That's like the next level stuff. Yeah. It's interesting that you say that, because that, I guess, like, how would that work? So, like, are you saying, like, that you're tuning on into, like, a TV cast or whatever it is, or if you're tuning on in on YouTube and you hear, like, the announcers, but, like, you want to be able to control the camera yourself and zoom on in or zoom out and get, like, a full lens of things? I don't know how that would work. I don't know how that would work. I have the broadcast on low, JJ, so I can hear the crowd noise, but not quite make out the announcers. Then I have you on my phone, but I get what you're saying. Yeah, if we could just get like a feed of just a crowd mic, which wouldn't be possible. I'm just saying in a utopia, or just a different type of a world, then that would make the silence, I would say, more fine. Because, you know, a lot of us, including even myself, when you're tuning into a stream, the one thing that is a little bit annoying is, like, you know, like, you want to feel entertained, but then when it's just one voice, that can be a turnoff for some people. And it's not just saying that there should be a color commentator. I'm not just saying that. I'm saying that the crack of the bat, for example, the ball going on into the glove, sounds make things really enjoyable, and they take things to another level. A pow, if you will. Or the players saying, I got it, I got it. 1 ball, no strikes. And here's the next pitch. That's taken for ball 2. 2-0 is the count. Sonny Gray, not John Gray, still pitching. And the 2-0 is in there for a called strike. It was at 92 miles per hour. Nico Horner is the next man up. At least we have loser tuba. It's true. We're watching and listening to you, but could literally FaceTime with people in the chat. Got you. Okay, that makes sense. Or like Discord call. Yeah. But do it within YouTube and not a third party. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And there's the 2-2. There's a fly ball. It's hit out over towards right field. Walker is there. Makes the grab. And there's out number 1. But then the curse to that is that you wouldn't be listening as much. Yeah. Like, you'd still be... It would still take it to another level, though. Because then you'd be, like, with friends and you'd be tuning on in with the awesome community that we have. But that would be the curse. It's like when you talk over the TV and like you're at a bar. You're not hearing the announcers. The pitch. This one's grounded over to third. And the throw over to first is not in time by Nolan Gorman. And so Swanson gets on with an infield single. The throw was actually off the line, too. And I actually think that Swanson would have been out if there was a good throw. So they don't call it an infield single. It's the scoring decision is an E5. Scratch that. We're in the top of the fifth. There's one out. A runner on over at first. And Matt Shaw takes a cutter in there for a strike. Like if you clicked on someone's icon and they answer, you could chat without typing invite in as many as you want or not. Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. 1 ball, 1 strike. We're in the top of the fifth inning. There's one out. We have 75 people watching. And again, we appreciate you guys. They could elect to have camera on or off. No, you boot them off your individual stream if they hack too much. Right. Yeah, you can't block anybody on here, which I think is kind of sad. You know? 1 ball, 1 strike. And the 1-1 is chopped foul. Edgar says, what's going on with that throw? It was just off. It was not close to first base. It dragged Wilson Contreras off the line, and he couldn't catch it. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Matt Shaw. The 1-2 on the way, in the air, hit out over towards left field. That one's going back, over towards the track, towards the wall, and it is gone! And we are tied 2-2 out in St. Louis. The Cubs respond, and Matt Shaw takes Sonny Gray deep. That's what happens too when you have an error over at third base. Those things tend to come back and bite you. Now it's a 2-2 game. Here comes Michael Busch. The pitch. It's inside and taken for ball 1. Alrighty. Here we go. Charge! Burleson thought maybe he would have room to try to snag it and rob Shaw on a homer, but he did not have room. And went way over his glove. 2 balls, no strikes to Michael Busch. The 2-0 pitch. And there's a strike. It's a curveball. Right at the knees. JJ's been trying to block me for months. Exactly. I just keep having to hide you. You're a bot. 2-1. That's up high for ball 3. Just kidding. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel too, folks. We have 35 likes, 67 people watching us. 3 balls, 1 strike. And the 3-1 delivery is in there for strike 2. So back to what John was saying. So you could build a friend base to share and have individual groups while also everyone is on the main group. You click and chat, then go back to the main chat would be neat. Yeah. You have like a private chat within the general group. So like you can create group chats on here. That's interesting. I don't even know if Twitch does that. Anybody know if Twitch has that type of a community for streaming? So the 3-2 pitch was taken for a called strike 3 to Michael Busch. And there is the second out of the inning. 2 away, and Suzuki is up at the plate. Here's the pitch, and that is a foul ball. JJ's the master of ignoring me when I get trolly. I don't blame him. My goal is to make him laugh daily. Well, I mean, sometimes I don't ignore you, because sometimes I do tend to get lost into this, and the pitch is taken for a ball. But then sometimes, like I'll read something and then I try not to say it out loud because, I don't know if it's appropriate for me to say out loud. So then I'll just read it in my head and I'll be like, yeah, that was really funny, John. Or sometimes I just skip over things. And it's not just you. There's other people too. The pitch. This one is grounded over to short. The throw over to first. That's in plenty of time. And the inning is over. We're going to the bottom of the 5th inning. It is 2-2. St. Louis and Chicago are all tied up. But yeah. I should pad in that. RC. You guys are funny. You do crack me up. You do. You do. You're a very funny person. Larry cracks me up too. I should give out awards by the end of the year. Just kidding. I'm not going to do that because you guys are all funny. I'll tell you, Kevin's funny. Kevin to me is funny. You're funny. Scott's funny. I think Scott's pretty funny. I think David's funny. But yeah, everybody has their own things. We're going to the bottom of the 5th inning. Cardinals and Cubs are tied 2-2. The other reason why I don't always read everything is because sometimes, some person will say something, and I'm not just saying that it's you, but it might be a little bit off topic. And I want to try to stay on topic, and it's no offense to anybody. But, somebody might be asking, out of nowhere, Kyle Schwarber hits a home run. What's the score of the Mets game? In real time. We're talking about Kyle Schwarber hitting a home run. Somebody else in chat can answer that, but I'm not going to answer that right now. Plus, my mods don't play. No, they're, when they have to be serious, they're pretty serious. And I like that. That's the one thing I really like about this. We're in the bottom of the 5th. We're tied 2-2. And the pitch to Gorman is flied out towards shallow left field. Happ has to go onto the track towards the left side, and I'll make the catch. It was not the warning track. It was just towards the left field line track, if you will. It's a trip when chat gets on its own tangent, and we're in left field, and you're like, chat is babysitting itself. It's great. And that's what happens when you have a bigger audience. The pitch. And that is in there for a called strike. I'm enjoying the play-by-play. You got the old school baseball vibe. Thank you. The old school baseball voice. I appreciate that. Here's the 0-1, and that's inside for a ball to Thomas Sagis. trying to think about how many batters nowadays don't wear the batting gloves. The 1-1, and there's a foul ball. We talk a lot about Bryce Harper because we see him every day. But here's something that nobody really tends to talk about that I just thought of right now. When was the last time that you saw Bryce Harper with no batting gloves? One, two. That's up high for ball two. But yeah, thank you very much, Sigla. Just made me think about that. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Shota Imanaga putting on a show. And that's now 7 strikeouts for him on the evening. He has everything working for him. And that's right there is why I'm here. And I think is JJ's number one asset. You're definitely an asset, for sure. Here's the pitch, and that's in there for a strike. So we're in the bottom of the 5th inning. Shota with 14 straight first pitch strikes. That's also really impressive, too. 0-1, swing and a miss. That four-seamer is definitely working for him now. It's 0-2 to Pedro Pages. Not only do we do baseball, my friends, we do football, we do basketball as well. Different tones, different energies, and we bring it all to action. The pitch, fly ball hit out over towards deep center field. This is going to stay in the ballpark, though, as Pete Crow Armstrong backpedals and makes the catch. He said, I got it. Pages was like, I was thinking about getting 2, but I just came up short. We're heading to the 6th inning. We're tied up 2-2 out in St. Louis. And the Cardinals and Cubs will be back in just a little bit. It's funny. I think about, I'll go back to my radio calls. And again, I'm not, tooting my own horn here. I'm not trying to do that at all. But I go back to my radio calls, and I'm, thinking to myself, imagine if there was a chat. When I and when all the people that I did broadcasting with, imagine if there was a chat while we were on the radio. If there was a live chat where people could write in time. How would the other casters handle that? How would other people learn to juggle with that and juggle with the not just the hate, but juggle with the all the different types of personalities. It's interesting. It's just a new type of a broadcast. What's up, Scott? John says JJ has what 99.99999% of streamers don't have and can't learn. A natural gift of speaking with personality and tone, cadence, rhythm, humor, and knowledge. It's a classic style call. Most people don't. And, I really appreciate the compliment. And, yeah, I don't really have words for that. That's high praise. And no, I was not mad at you when you said that my tone was a little bit different today. I was just explaining that, it actually just made me think. And I said, I think that this type of tone works. For basketball, this would not fly by. For football, it doesn't fly by. It just doesn't. But for baseball, it's actually kind of cool. Here's the pitch, and that's taken for a ball. Who's up to bat, JJ? That's Kyle Tucker. Sonny Gray still out there pitching. And the 1-0 is down and in for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes to Kyle Tucker. Tucker with his blue batting gloves, if I can speak. The 2-0 is lined over towards the right side. Sagis will make the catch. And there is 1 out. I watched one the other day where they split screen. You and Mike should do one sometime. It would be hilarious, the content of styles. That's funny. Yeah, I could. Well, you're saying make like a video and post it like during a break or something, just for you guys, and doing like a style. Well, we would have to have like the same type of a call. That's what it would have to be. Yeah, that's funny. 0-1. Ground ball. It's hit over towards shortstop. Bobbled by the shortstop Wynn, but he throws over to first still to get Kelly out in time. And Wynn says, calm down. He had that calm down body language signal to just remind himself, I got it. Cubs rules, says Elizabeth. What's up, Elizabeth? 2 away in the top of the 6th. Gray with 79 pitches, if you're wondering. And the 80th one to Pete Crow Armstrong is outside. No, share a split screen and a live call. Just once. Oh, like a live call and do a split screen? 1-0 pitch. This one's fouled away, but we'd have to be calling it at the same exact time. And we would have to listen to each other. That'd be kind of tough. One ball, one strike to Pete Crow Armstrong. There's Jordan Walker out in right field. Here's the 1-1, swing and a miss. But yeah, if we could get like a Kyle Schwarbaum and just like do like our calls side by side, that would be interesting. If we did a live, that'd be kind of tough. The 1-2 pitch, and there's a swing and a miss. We're going to the bottom of the 6th. It's 2-2 out in St. Louis. Each team has 1 2-run homer. And we're going to the bottom of the 6th inning at Busch Stadium. Pedro Pages hit a 2-run shot in the bottom of the 3rd. And Matt Shaw tied it up on a 2-run shot in the top of the 5th. Let's drink some more water. In case you're wondering, why is this game running late? We had a 50-minute rain delay. So, do you guys remember Scott Graham? Scott Graham, for all the Philadelphia fans, and even for NFL fans, if you love NFL, Scott Graham is on Westwood One, and he is the halftime and post-game host for all the games on Westwood One. He's also the Eagles preseason play-by-play announcer with Ross Tucker, and he also was the play-by-play announcer for the Philadelphia Phillies up until I believe it was 2005. Just curious if you guys know him or if you've ever heard of him. Louis has that it factor. Well, now you're praising me with compliments. I appreciate it, man. I really, really do. It's a golden goose with proper management. That's high praise, man. Don't make me blush. That's not your job, my friend.
Aww.
That's not why you're an asset. Oh man. Get back to work, John. No, I'm kidding. Just joking. JJ should be doing this in the booth at the bank for every home game with sponsors and breaks. Thank you, man. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. The pitch. This one's popped up over towards shallow left field. The shortstop gets under it and makes the grab for the first out. And there is out number one. I thought I heard something the other day. I'll have to go back. The pitch, and that's in there for a strike. I'll have to go back and make sure that I heard this correctly. But I like to listen to these things called, to this YouTube channel called Classic Baseball on the Radio. I've talked about it before. No balls, one strike, and the 0-1 is fouled off. And I believe it was during the cast. I think it was Vince Scully. He did, I forget which inning it was and who the game was, but Vince Scully said, "I spy with my little eyes something green." And obviously you can't talk. It's on the radio. The 0-2 pitch. And this one's popped up over towards the third base side, and it's a foul ball. And so he's calling the play, he's calling the pitches, and so he goes back to his comment, like in the seventh inning or in the very next half inning, and he said, "Remember that thing that I spied that was something green? It was just the grass." That's what it was. No balls, 2 strikes. Oh, the things that you could say back then, it's simpler and fun. And funny. Watch Dr. Delay. Dude, Dr. Delay is really good. Well, JJ, I see so many. I click and immediately leave. Just not professional. You have the total package. I really could see you grow. I thank you. I thank you for that. 0-2 pitch. Another swing and a miss by Shota Imanaga. And he gets his 8th strikeout of the ball game in 5 2/3 of an inning so far. There's out number 2. Let's go. Here comes Ivan Herrera. And Herrera takes the pitch up high for a ball. 17 first pitch strikes. And he has faced 20 batters. So he's gotten ahead 17 times. This pitch is popped up over towards the first base side and out of play. One ball, one strike. And here's the pitch. This one's grounded over towards the third base side. Matt Shaw has it, picks it up, throws it over to first. And we're going to the top of the 7th inning. Tied 2-2. Cubs versus Cardinals. Oh, Tiff, do I have a story for you? I have a story for you. I'm very happy to see you on here, and appreciate you for coming on by. Tiff and Jay, I have a story for you guys. Folks, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell icons too, and that way you will know when we do go live. So here's the whole story. Okay, you gotta listen to this. You have to listen to this. Okay. I get a text message at 2:19 p.m. today on my personal cell phone. Okay, the Phillies game was supposed to start at 2:20. Or sorry, I was supposed to go on at 2:20. And I get a text, and it says, "Why are you still not here?" And I'm thinking to myself, this is not my hotline. I'm sorry, who is this? This is Tiffany. Don't you have this number saved? And guess who I thought it was? I thought it was Tiff. My bad, Tiff. Laughing emoji. I didn't have this number saved. It showed up on my personal contacts. I went out for my birthday last night and got home a little bit late. And I was thinking to myself, wait, does this person have the wrong number in quotes? So I apologize. And she responds, "We had an appointment to meet today. Did you forget?" So then I message back and I say, wait a sec. You have the wrong person. My name is Jason. Now I think you have the wrong person. And she said, "Oh no, I'm really sorry, Jason. I thought you were Anna. I hope I didn't bother you." And I said, "No worries." And that was the end of the conversation. So first here, I'm thinking that this person is Tiff and is waiting for me to come on stream and somehow got my number, which I thought was kind of crazy. And then it just so happened that this person got the wrong phone number and was looking for this person named Anna and asked, "Why are you late?" to something different, to an actual appointment with this Tiffany. That's my little story, Tiff. The pitch. There's a foul ball. Because I have a hotline, and Tiffany likes to call in a lot, and I appreciate that, but I just thought that was really funny. Here's the pitch, and this one's flied out over towards left field, and the ball is caught for out number 1. 85 pitches for Sonny Gray. It is a crazy coincidence, isn't it? Shockingly, this is Jay. Tiffany is on the treadmill. Nice. 1 out, and the pitch to Nico Horner that is swung on and missed. I got to go back to John's comment. It depends on what you want. So many are afraid of success because they're afraid of failing. You got the goods that speak for themselves. I could see you all day long. Thank you, man. The ball is 1 strike. There's 1 out in the top of the 7th. Here's the 0-1 to Nico Horner, and he takes a cutter that is a little bit outside for a ball. We're tied 2-2. Each team has a 2-run homer. Pedro Pajes hit one in the bottom of the 3rd for the Cardinals, and Matt Shaw hit a 2-run homer in the 5th for the Cubs. The next pitch, I tried to see if he went. He did not go. Excuse me. 88 pitches for Sonny Gray. The 1-2, ground ball, hit back up the middle. It actually hit the top of the hill and just skipped over second base. And it's a base hit out to center field from Nico Horner. And that is the 6th hit of the ball game for Chicago. So the Cubs have the go-ahead runner aboard. He's over at first base. Happy birthday, JJ Sasima Fox. Sorry I missed you today. Was traveling for a vacation with my daughter, my son, and his wife, and their kids. My grandsons, 5 and 2. Fun, fun, fun. I appreciate you for coming on, Sima Fox, and I hope that you had... I hope that you're having a very nice vacation and that you're spending quality time with the loved ones out there. Thank you very, very much for the birthday wishes. And enjoy your time. No balls, 1 strike to Dansby Swanson. Swanson is hitting 174 with runners in scoring position. And that is the 4th worst batting average in all of baseball. 0-1. It's popped up over towards the right field side. It's looking foul. And it is a foul ball indeed. Second love at first wedding. There's Scott. Nana Fox. No balls, 2 strikes. Swanson, 1 for 2. 0-2 pitch. Ground ball, hit over towards second base. The tag to second, there's 1. The throw to first, there's 2. 6-3 on the double play by Mason Wynn. All he had to do was slide his feet over. He was playing up the middle, and he took the ball to the bag for the first out, and then got the next out over at first base on a great throw. And so the inning is over. We're going to the bottom of the 7th inning and still tied 2-2 out in St. Louis. We have 72 people on here watching. Again, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel as well. We love each and every one of you. Game got started at 8 o'clock. Do the Phillies have an official streamer on lock? An official streamer on lock? No, they don't. No, there's no such thing as a Phillies streamer. Baseball does not have a streamer. Anything that's streamed is on their YouTube channel, but it's like the Celebrity All-Star Game. Or wasn't there something on the other day? Let's go to MLB's channel really quickly. We'll go to MLB's channel. Their last live stream, they had the 2025 Nike RBI World Series Senior Baseball Championship. That was 2 days ago. Interesting. That was their last live stream that they did on YouTube that was streamed. But they don't allow that. Time to create the position and cash in. What the heck? Oh, that's a commercial. I was like, that's not in real time, is it? That's not a real-time home run. No, it's a replay. Made you look, JJ. This is just your imagination. Excuse me. Sorry about the yawn there. Here comes Wilson Contreras to start off the bottom of the 7th inning. The pitch, and that is low for a ball to Wilson Contreras. Funny, you said a commercial and I got an ad. Figures. The 1-0 pitch, ground ball foul. Rising Rhino has arrived. Let's go. Rising Rhino, how are you? 1 ball, 1 strike to Wilson Contreras. Game was supposed to start at 7:10, and because of rain, Mother Nature had other plans and pushed it back to 8 o'clock. 2 balls, 1 strike. Shota Imanaga on the hill. Wilson Contreras in the box. We're tied 2-2. Thanks to 2 two-run homers, 1 from each team. The next pitch is taken for strike 2. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. I may be a little tired, says Rising Rhino. Hey, man, we're pushing through, right? We're pushing through. 2-2. That's down for ball 3. And the count is 3-2. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea, Scott. Three balls, 2 strikes. We're in the bottom of the 7th. Contreras in the box. Imanaga comes set and deals, and there's a cold strike 3 right down the middle. Shota with now 9 strikeouts on the evening. And he's looked very good out there. He did allow the 2-run homer to Matt Shaw, or to to Pedro Pajes, that is. But other than that, he's been really, really strong. Bottom of the 7th, 1 away, and the pitch is way outside for a ball. That's to Alec Burleson. 6 1/3. 9 strikeouts, and just 5 hits allowed, or 2 hits allowed, that is, for Shota. 1 ball, 1 strike, and Burleson fouled off the 1-0, and that's why it's a 1-1 count. The last time that Shota did have 9 strikeouts, it was back in 2024. The 1-1, and that is a foul ball. So he passed his season high in strikeouts. Last time he had double-digit strikeouts was on September 16th of last year. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the 1-2 on the way, outside for ball 2. John gave us visuals on how your night went. You mean vivid imagery. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Alec Burleson. 2-2 pitch, fouled away. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and make sure that you guys turn on the notification bell icons too. And you will know when we do go live. Is the Rhino still here? Is the Rhino still here? The 2-2 pitch. Outside and high for ball 3. Shota has 86 pitches. He's trying to put Burleson away again. It is 9:52 p.m. Eastern Time. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The payoff pitch on the way. Popped up over towards the middle infield. And now shifting towards the right side is the second baseman. That's Nico Horner for out number 2, and he'll make the catch. And there's 2 gone. Rising Rhino says, I am. John laughed at the vivid imagery. That's funny. That's funny. Rising Rhino, please. I was going to say, Rising Rhino, please go subscribe to Rising Rhino. Everybody besides Rising Rhino, go subscribe to Rising Rhino. And Rising Rhino, if you are not subscribed to yourself, I don't know what you're doing. But everybody, please go do that. Here's the pitch to Walker, and he lines this one out to center field for a base hit. It'll take a bounce in front of Pete Crow Armstrong, as he plays it on a hop, and Jordan Walker gets on with a 2-out single off a shota imanaga. Let's go. JJ's wearing the high collar to hide the hickeys. How'd you know, John? 2 away. Bottom of the 7th. Toss bat to first. Not in time. Who do I subscribe to? Yeah. Bottom of the 7th. Nolan Gorman is coming up to the plate. Subscribe to yourself. Subscribe to Play by Play with JJ. Here's the pitch. This one is lined out to left field. It's a foul ball, though, and it'll go out of play. Oh, man. Dude, this Phillies road trip, I mean, I'm really, really happy that the Phillies took all 3 games against the Rangers. That was big. But everybody seems to underestimate this Cincinnati Reds team, or just say, it's not a big series. This is a big series, too. This Reds team is trying to fight for a 3rd wild card spot. They're in the hunt. 0-1. Fouled away. And the count is 0-2. All right, let's go, chat. Come on. Charge! The 0-2 to Gorman. It's low for a ball. To throw to second base to get the runner. Definitely not in time. Walker dove on in there head first. Got his left hand in there. No tag applied from Dansby Swanson. So that's a runner in scoring position. Walker 6 for 8 in stolen bases this year. They're trying to put Gorman away. 1 ball, 2 strikes in the bottom of the 7th inning. Here's the 1-2. Line drive past the dive of Nico Horner out to right field. Tucker has an arm. The throw to the plate, it's not in time. The throw back to second, that's not in time either. A big RBI base hit by Nolan Gorman, and the Cardinals go back out on top. Shota started to leak a little bit of oil when he threw that hanger to Jordan Walker, and then Walker provided the pressure and stole second base, and it certainly got Shota to get into his head. The Craig Council will make a move. We got action. Yeah, it's about time. 3-2, St. Louis, and a pitching change will take place as Craig Counsell says goodbye to Shota Imanaga. And he pitched really well. Besides that end of his outing, other than that, he was pitching fine. He was pitching well. Just keep it under 7.5 total, boys. I still can't believe that. Like, the coincidence of confusion. That's just so odd to me. Oh man, Jay, you have to rewind, and you have to have Tiff watch that story. She has to hear that from me. She just does. By the way, guys, no post-game show tonight. I don't usually do a post-game show for Sunday Night Baseball, but in case you were wondering, yeah, I don't do post-game shows for this, and I have to get off after this game is done anyways. That was crazy, says Jay. Yeah, you gotta go back. You gotta rewind the tape, because that she has to hear. She'll laugh. She'll be like, what did JJ say? I can't explain it. You got to hear it himself. Or you got to hear it yourself. I already informed her. We will rewind after. Sounds good. Yeah. Maybe now's not the best time to rewind. It's funny. I think it was like the bottom of the 6th, like when you guys when you just came on in. So that's the timestamp. Oh boy. Hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and make sure that you turn on the notification bell icons too, and that way you will know when we upload. JJ, what did the roster man say before jumping into the Delaware? I don't know, John. What did the roster man say before jumping into the Delaware? Brad Keller is going to pitch for the Chicago Cubs. I want to hear from you. Thomas Segis is up. And here's the 0-1. That's taken down. But they try to appeal. And what's the story? He did go. The water murky. No balls, 2 strikes, and the 0-2 is down for a ball. One ball, 2 strikes. The new pitcher is Brad Keller for the Chicago Cubs. Keller was on the Kansas City Royals. He was a starter at one point. The pitch, this one's grounded over to third, and Shaw has it, gobbles it up, throws it over to first. The inning is over. Nolan Gorman with a big RBI single to get Jordan Walker the score from second base. And that is how St. Louis has the lead. And we're going to the top of the 8th. The Cubs looking to try to respond. We'll see if they can do that in just a little bit. I definitely need more teases on this channel. I feel like teases for baseball are so good. Happy birthday, JJ. Thank you so much, Aunt Janice. I love you. You will be receiving a Rasta wig and hat. I'm sure I will. That might be the first thing I get when I open that P.O. box. Oh, boy. I wonder, I didn't look this up. I never looked this up. But I'm curious. And I'm going to ask Siri. I will. What the longest save ever was. So what do I mean by that? So a save is when you have, when a pitcher comes on in and has a 3-run lead. He has to have the lead. A 1 to 3 run lead. And the tying run has to be in the on-deck circle. That's really like what classifies a save. So what would really be the longest outing a pitcher could have to get a save? I don't know. What's the longest save in baseball in MLB history? Ready for this? Hear this. The longest save in MLB history in terms of innings pitched is 7 innings by Joaquin Benoit for the Texas Rangers. It was on September 3rd of 2002. A 7-inning save. He achieved this feat by against the Baltimore Orioles pitching the final 7 innings of what then was a 7-1 victory after entering the game in the 3rd. The pitch, and that is swung on and missed. That was classified as a save, which then brings the question, did he get the win and the save? 0-1, and there's a swing and a miss. Here's the 0-2, and there's a swing and a miss. 1 out in the top of the 8th inning for the Chicago Cubs. I wonder what's the least amount of pitches thrown in 9 innings. 27? Yeah, it would have to be 27. The least amount of pitches thrown in 9 innings. I'll let you know about that. Oh my gosh. You're gonna love this story. The ball is 1 strike, and here's the 0-1. It's popped up over towards the left field side, and that's going to be caught for out number 2. Tanderson says no because they were winning when he came into the game. Right. So, but then who would get the win? I guess the person that started. That's interesting. Because usually that's not the case. 2 outs, top of the 8th, and the pitch is taken down for a ball to Seiya Suzuki. John, the fewest pitches thrown in the complete 9-inning game. Guess. Let's play a guessing game. Here's the pitch, and it's now a 2-0 count. 2 outs, top of the 8th inning. O'Brien is pitching for the St. Louis Cardinals. 2-0. That's a called strike. Let's play a guessing game. The 2-1 pitch to Suzuki. Swing and a miss. Not bad, John. Not bad. Not 45. Right, that's true. The starter, he could have left the game because of an injury. So yeah, you're right. That is applied to the rule of baseball. I did not think about that. You're right. The 2-2, and that's low for ball 3. 58. The fewest pitches thrown in a complete 9-inning game is 58. And that was achieved by Red Barrett for the Boston Braves against the Cincinnati Reds. That game just so happened to also be the shortest 9-inning game. The time of the game was 1 hour and 15 minutes. And it was back in 1944. Guess what day it was? 3-2 pitch. And there's a check swing foul ball to Seiya Suzuki. Guess what day it was? So let's say 27 pitches will be an immaculate game. Yes. That's correct. That would be an immaculate game. Three balls, 2 strikes, and the 3-2 is inside for a ball. Was it today? It was. It was today. On the negative 54th anniversary of my birthday. That's when the fewest pitches thrown in the complete game was. Ollie Marmol's going to go out there. Seiya Suzuki gets on with a walk. And we have another batter coming on in. It's going to be Kyle Tucker. And a pitch and change will take place. August 10th of 1944. No joke. Red Barrett. His real name was Charles Henry Barrett, which I didn't know. Played 11 total career seasons in the National League. He was with the Cincinnati Reds, the Boston Braves, and the St. Louis Cardinals. Was that the year he was an All-Star? He was not even an All-Star. Wait, hold up. He was not even an All-Star that year. But I also understand. It's just funny, like, when you put that in perspective. In 1945, he was an All-Star, and he led the NL in wins. PAS is here. Hello, JJ and Freaks. Am I allowed to pick a new favorite team? Absolutely. No, I'm kidding. I'm totally joking, my friend. Guys, if you like the Mets, make sure that you go subscribe to PAS. Go subscribe to PAS for the Mets. He also does the Flyers, and he does the Jets as well. I'm happy to see you, man. Really happy to see you. Must have been Irish. Yeah. Red Barrett. As long as it's a Philly team. This is John. Yeah. All right, we're in the top of the 8th inning. It is 3-2 St. Louis. Kyle Tucker is coming up to the plate. Will the Cubs pull it off? I was just going to ask that question, Fiddler. The Fiddler, that is. Jojo Romero will pitch to Tucker, and the first pitch is lined out to center field, and that's going to get down for a base hit. Mason Wynn goes to chase it down. The throw's going to be drawn over to second. Heading on over to third base is Suzuki. And just like that, the tying run is now 90 feet away from scoring. So Tucker blooped out a single over the head of Mason Wynn. Wynn had to go chase it down. And as he was able to run towards the ball with his back right behind home plate, he threw it over to third, and it was cut off by the shortstop. And Carson Kelly is coming up for the Cubs. Here's the pitch. It's down and in for ball one. And the count is 1-0. Let's go, chat. Can't hear you. Charge! The 1-0 pitch. That is taken down for ball two. Pure Adrenaline Sports is now a Phillies fan. Let's go. We gotta make him say it on street. 2-0 pitch. And that is in there for a strike. Chased it down so hard his cap flew off. Love that vivid imagery. That's so true. This is what color commentators do. This is why I rely on you guys as well. 2-1. And that is down for ball three. Love it. 3 balls, 1 strike to Carson Kelly, who's hitless in 2 at-bats. Romero and the Cardinals are in a jam. The 3-1 pitch. Strike 2, right down the middle. Never bad enough I cheer for the Flyers. You can make it too. 3-2 pitch. That's spoiled foul. I feel you. This is a huge pitch coming up to Carson Kelly. Cubs fans nervous. Cardinals fans standing up on their feet. The 3-2 pitch. This one's grounded over to shortstop. Wynn picks it up, throws over to first, and the inning is over, and the Cardinals get out of the inning. And we're going to the bottom of the 8th. It is a 3-2 ball game. St. Louis still remains on top. All right. Yeah, well, I mean, Helsley's not closing anymore for the Cardinals. So you're probably wondering, well, who is their closer? It is JoJo Romero, technically on the depth chart. So JoJo Romero and Riley O'Brien, they both pitched. So then I guess that their next guy would probably be Kyle Leahy. I guess that's who it would be. Yeah. Hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel. Guys, if you love baseball, this is the channel to be at. We do Sunday Night Baseball. I also covered the Phillies. I mainly covered the Phillies on my channel, but I do Sunday Night Baseball, and I do a baseball version of NFL Red Zone. We call that edition Diamond Zone. And we do live look-ins at all the games when baseball is pumping, when it is hopping. And it's really, really fun. Don't know when we're going to do our next episode of Diamond Zone just yet. I'll have to take a look at the Phillies schedule. I try to revolve it around the Phillies schedule because my people, my freaks as I call them, PHREAKS, would not be happy with me if I decided, you know what, the Phillies are on, let's do Diamond Zone instead. They would probably boo me, figuratively speaking. But yeah, just kidding. But anyhow, yeah, I don't know when that's going to be. I think it's actually going to be Sunday. I think that might be when our next edition of Diamond Zone will be, because we have the Nationals-Phillies game going on at 11:35, and then the rest of the day is pretty much free after that. So that might be the next day that we do it. We Cards got out off from under that truck. Yeah. You did. You got out of that jam. You did. Here comes Pedro Pajes, who hit a 2-run homer earlier in the ball game. Michael is here. 50 likes, 85 people tuning on in. Here's the pitch. It's a foul ball. Why did the game start late, JJ? It was in a 50-minute rain delay. No balls, 2 strikes. First pitch was at 8 o'clock on the dot. The 0-2, swing and a miss. 1 gone in the bottom of the 8th inning, and the Cubs record the first out. We need one more subscriber to help us get to a 6750, and we would really, really appreciate that. The pitch, and that is taken outside for a ball. Maybe Dombrowski knew what he was doing when he didn't bring back Jeff Hoffman. Yeesh. 1-0. That's to Victor Scott, the second. And he takes it low for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. It is 10:17 p.m. Eastern Time. The 2-0 pitch. There's a slider in there for strike 1. There we go, 67-50. Thank you so much. We really appreciate that as the pitch is fouled away. Nice. Thank you. Where is everybody tapping on in from? How's everybody doing tonight? Who else is streaming this game? If you're tuning on in. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the next pitch, it's bounced foul. He was the long. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Another strikeout from Brad Keller. That was a pretty big one there. There is out number 2. Max is covering the game, is he? I didn't know Max was covering the game. Huh. Cool. Good for him. I had no clue. 2 away in the bottom of the 8th inning. And the pitch, it's at 96 miles per hour on the gun. It's good. We love Max coverage. 0-1. Ground ball hit over to third base. Picked up by the third baseman. And the throw over to first. Got him. And we are going to the top of the 9th inning. It's the last chance for the Chicago Cubs. Pete Crow Armstrong will lead it off in the top of the 9th inning and will be the tying run to come on up to the plate. Can the Cardinals close it out? Do the Cubs have something else to say about that? We shall see. Don't go anywhere. So Max is covering the game. Cool. There he is. Let's go. I got to hit that thumbs up button for him. Got to support my guy. Oh, man. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel. Hap, I need a home run, bro, says William. Well, Ian Happ is due up second. It's due up second. Are you a Cardinals fan? I'm not a Cardinals fan. I'm a Phillies fan. I cover all the Phillies games. I do Sunday Night Baseball. I also do, as I mentioned before, I'm not afraid to repeat myself. But as I mentioned before, I also do this really cool NFL Red Zone edition for Major League Baseball. It's called MLB Diamond Zone. So it's baseball's version of Red Zone, basically what it is. Live look-ins, and we do live play-by-plays, and we change the scoreboard. I have the monitor up. I'm able to watch all these games, and it's so cool because I'm just switching TVs, and I'm not even changing any channels, nothing like that, and we're just able to watch all the games, and we can pick which ones to call, and it's so, so cool. So if you're into baseball, if you love baseball, if you love baseball, you need to check that out. That's for all the baseball fanatics. Thank goodness. I guess that means thank goodness I'm on. All these weird stats on TV are really helpful. It's good to see you too. What's going on, old man Ferguson? Me too, lol. Plus 20 or 2,500. Hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. And turn on the bell icons, folks. The pitch. That's in there for a called strike. At the knees. Right over 59 likes. Keep the likes coming. Nice. 0-1 pitch to Justin Turner. And this one's flied out over towards center field. On the run is Scott, and they'll make the catch. So, Justin Turner came on in the pinch hit for Pete Crow Armstrong. That's a little bit odd. I know that he's been struggling, but I didn't hear if anything happened to him or not. And so there's one away in the top of the 9th inning. And that'll bring up Ian Happ to the plate. Happ today is flied out and struck out, and the first pitch is a slider, and that's in there for strike one. No balls, one strike. Romero kicks and deals, and the 0-1 is swung on and missed on a changeup that was in the dirt. Happ with 16 homers on the season, 0 for 3 with a strikeout and 55 RBI as well. All righty, here we go. The 0-2 pitch to Happ, and that's taken down for a ball. There is some action going on in the Cardinals' pen. Here's the 1-2, and that's up high for ball 2. That was a four-seam fastball. Charge! The 2-2 pitch to Happ, and this one's grounded foul towards the third base side. The count was 0-2, and 3 pitches later, it's a 2-2 count. Cubs won last night's game 9-1. Cardinals took the first punch and won 5-0. Here's the 2-2. It's outside for ball 3. Big pitch coming up to Ian Happ. And here's the payoff pitch. Foul ball. To work it up from an 0-2 to a 3-2. Payoff pitch on the way. Inside for ball 4, and the tying run is aboard. So a one-out walk issued to Ian Happ, and he is now over at first base. All righty. Here we go. No spoilers in the chat. If that was a spoiler. Romero will get set just at the letters. Runner goes. The pitch is taken outside. The throw to second base, and he is out at second. Nico Horner still at the plate. And we'll see if the Cubs decide to challenge this. Great throw by Pages, nonetheless. And let's see. Let's look at the replay. Did Seguis tag him? His hand came off the bag, I think. And Seguis kept his mitt on the hand. Looking at this again. I mean, if you're the Cubs, I don't think you have anything to lose here. So they're looking at multiple replays. So that means I assume that they're challenging this call. The Cubs, that is. The question is, did he keep his pinky on the bag when his hand came up? They can't show another angle. I think his hand came up. I think his hand came up. So Chicago is challenging the call. And if the call stands, there would be nobody on with 2 outs. Replay review is looking this over. And we're just waiting for a call. I just don't know if he kept his pinky on there. By the time when his hand came up, did all the fingers come up? That was a great throw. It was a great play. The Cubs might not have enough to overturn this, but maybe they do. I don't know. Cruz, please do not spoil this. I keep telling you not to spoil the chat, man. That was the second time I did that. So the call stands, and he's out. Thanks, Cruz. Let's go. 2 outs in the top of the 9th inning. Yeah, I thought his hand came up. It looked like it. So there's 2 outs, nobody on. What a day for Pedro Pages, really. Nico Hoerner is up, the 1-0 pitch, and this one is grounded into left field for a base hit. And Hoerner is going to get on base, and so the tying run is on again. So the Chicago Cubs are still not done yet. And Ali Marmol is going to stay put in the dugout. It was grounded just under the glove of Nolan Gorman. Tried to make the play there, just could not do so. And Dansby Swanson is up. They're playing him the pole. First pitch, fouled off. That second out was big by Pages. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Toss bat to first, not in time. I mean, Hoerner was dancing off the bag, and he got back there. Swanson draws his stance. 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss on a violent swing on a sinker right down the middle. And the Cubs down to their final strike. Here we go. Here's the 0-2 on the way. This one's grounded into the left center, or into the left field hole, and it's going to be an infield single. So Swanson able to get on with an infield single. The shortstop dove for it, got it on the ground, and the game continues. And that's going to put runners on at first and second base. And another timeout taken on the mound. The tying run is in scoring position. And the go-ahead run is now over at first. So it just goes to show again that Pedro Pages gunning out the runner was huge. It was really big. And now it's Matt Shaw who comes on up. He had a 2-run homer earlier in the game. 2 outs, top of the 9th, 2 runners on. The pitch to Shaw, and that's in there for strike 1. Again, Romero is trying to close out the deal. No balls, 1 strike to Matt Shaw. The 0-1 pitch to Shaw, it's outside for a ball. That was a slider. Shaw is hitting .333 since the All-Star break. The 1-1 pitch to Shaw. Ground ball hit over to second base. And the tag to second, that's the game. And so the St. Louis Cardinals take the series against the Chicago Cubs and win by a final score of 3-2 out at Busch Stadium. Wow. That was a wild ninth inning, and the Cardinals hang on, and they go one game above 500. Big win for them. It just took 4 hits, and they got 3 runs, and the player of the game, Pedro Pages, he was magnificent. Wow. What a ball game. Congratulations to the St. Louis Cardinals for getting the job done. Man, that was an awesome game. There was a lot of drama in there. There wasn't really a lot of action at the very beginning. Sonny Gray and Shota Imanaga did a great job pitching against each other. Sonny Gray just was able to outduel Shota, and Shota had a good outing, but Sony was just a little bit better today. 7 innings, 7 strikeouts, 1 earned run, and 5 hits allowed. Also 1 walk allowed as well. And Romero, it certainly got interesting in that 9th inning specifically, but he was able to get that final out, got some help from his defense, and was able to get the job done and shut the door against the Cubs. And now if we take a look at the NL Central standings, right? We'll do this and then we will sign off. The Cubs now, as we see, are 67 and 50. And the Cardinals are 60 and 59. So the Cubs still have that first wild card spot, but it's getting a little bit closer as the San Diego Padres are not too far behind. All right, that's going to wrap it up for me. I appreciate each and every one of you for being on here. I also really appreciate all the birthday wishes as well. And yeah, go JJ, go. Thank you very, very much. I love you all very, very much. Maybe the Cubs can get a pennant parole out of betting jail, says Tiffany. Man, what a game. All right, love you all. Laila Tov. Good night, and I'll catch you all on the next one. Bye.